let me just make sure the sound is there. Test. Let me just make sure. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, look, sounds good. All right. I'll go round 2 first. Go with all the players that I know. Players that Rasheer Fleming. I feel like he's respected for his defense. Strengths, impressive highlight. He shot the 3 ball pretty well too. Inside out scorer. Shooting, potential defensive versatility. Yeah, shooting, length, versatility. I think he was a sophomore, right? I can't remember if he was a sophomore or junior. But yeah, a lot of people felt like he could have been a first rounder. Yo, Billy Joe Armstrong, what up? How you doing? Appreciate you coming on. What's going on, man? Did you have a good day? Kenton Stennis, what's going on, Ken? Hope you had a good day as well. Hope you both had some good days, and y'all have anything fun planned for the weekend? Sion James, I felt like Sion James could have been a first rounder as well. Along with oh man, it was all right, man. Just working a lot today. Still got to get to a little bit of work actually. After this, but yeah, man, it's all right. Blessed, can't complain. Can't complain. Got anything exciting for the weekend, or gonna be able to relax or anything, or what? Sion James, man, I feel like he did a good job with Duke. He ran the point a little bit because they didn't really have like a traditional point. Him and who's the other guard from Duke? Where's he at? Tyrese Proctor. I feel like I'll get to Proctor later, but Sion James, man, he's a bully. Yo, I'm not mad at that. Thiero, man, like I feel like he could have been a first round pick too. I feel like that Arkansas team has some good players, and he was the best one. I like to see if DJ Wagner could, try to see what he could do to get to the league. But yeah, I'm not mad at that. You got an AAU tournament tomorrow? I imagine you're from Ohio. You're from Canton, Ohio. Sion James, yeah, he's a bully. Was he 6'5", 6'6"? Yeah, 6'5". He could play D. I think as his shooting gets better, I feel like he's yeah, man. I feel like as his shooting gets better, he could kind of be like a Lou Dort. Kalkbrenner, man. Oh, you're from Canton? Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. That's where the football. What is it? The Football Hall of Fame is there in Canton, isn't it? Or am I wrong on that? Yo, man. Yo, you're who? You're in high school? Yeah, you're hoop, man. Um, Ryan Kalkbrenner, man. It would have been dope if the Lakers could have picked up somebody like Kalkbrenner. Yoda, what up, man? They gave you the number one slot. Wait, I don't know how to yo, they gave you the number one slot as a supporter, bro. Um, appreciate you, Yoda. The Kings logo. Freedom War. Yeah. Shout out to the Kings logo. What position you play, Stennis? Yo, I mean, man, I think the Kings, man, I think they could be decent, man. It's just honestly, I feel like the Kings' problem is like the I don't want to be critical, but it's probably like the front office. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these teams, like if the front office is not really focused on winning, you know what I mean? Because like even look at Indiana, like that's not a traditional powerhouse team. Yeah, I think Dennis Schroeder would be pretty good because of his because of what he could do defensively. Yeah, you know what I mean. That owner got money, but the owner has money. You play shooting guard? Oh, that's dope, man. Yeah, man. Keep hooping, man. Yo, try to make sure you're sending out your film to coaches too, so you could try to get recruited, man. Janai Broom, yeah. Shout out to well, I gotta turn this thing off because I can't. Um, um, I would have liked to see Kalkbrenner go to the Lakers. Janai Broom, like I think yeah, he's like an old school traditional big. He could shoot the three though. Great year. He was right there with Cooper Flag for Play of the Year for a long time. So, I ain't mad at that. It was 6'9", physical, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he could be a really good, like, productive, guy who you could put in there to get you some quick buckets. He's gonna have to figure out what kind of defender he's gonna be. But I think he's strong enough where he could defend fours, maybe not really the threes, but yo, Mini Hoop Bros, what up? Mini Hoop Bros. Finn Brooks, what up? What up? Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Mini Hoop Bros. How you doing? How you doing, Mini Hoop Bros? I assume you play ball. Are you in high school? Are you in middle school playing ball? What you up to? Could I beat you in 1v1? Um, man, I don't know. I don't know. Do you play a lot of ball? Do you play a lot of ball? Janai Broom should go to the Celtics to replace Chris Stapps. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I don't know what the Celtics are up to, but I feel like they're always making moves. You know what I mean? And I feel like they're trying to save money right now, especially since they have the two highest paid players in the whole entire NBA, I believe, right? They have like two dudes making like $300 million or something. So But it worked because they got the title. But like that Jason Tatum injury is a killer, man. Yo, Ark, what up, Anthony? Celtics situation is weird. Yeah, I know that's crazy. I think it was a money situation. They traded Holiday and Porzingis. Like I hate seeing Holiday get traded. I think he's like one of the more underrated players like ever, honestly. Because I don't know a lot of defensive guys who could do what he does and still score at that level. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I thought that was kind of crazy, man. But based on what I've seen of him, though, he could pass. He could pass that rock, man. He's kind of a little bit old school, though. Anthony, you playing AAU? Yeah, he's kind of old school. Like he's not really shooting the three that much, but you know what I mean? It seems like some people are trying to get back to some of this more traditional these traditional big men. But I'm shocked that he went first round though. Chaz Lanier, I feel like he could have gone first round. People seem to value his shooting. Cam Jones, I thought he was going to go first round. He had a massive year at Marquette, one of the toughest guards in the nation. Yeah, traded to Indiana. I am mad at that. Indiana's been making a lot of good moves. Nice, Anthony. You got a tournament this weekend? Yo, that's what we were saying yesterday, the other day. Tahad Pettiford should have came. Like I know this draft is pretty loaded. Oh, that's dope. Yeah, Canton was just saying the same thing. Canton's got a game tomorrow too, right? Right, Canton, you got a game tomorrow? Man, y'all both got games. Hey man, all the best to both of you, man. Hopefully you guys get some W's, get some wins, and y'all play well and stay healthy, man. God bless. Yeah, yeah. I want to see y'all do well and have some fun too. AAU with your buddies. That's always fun. Um, Elijah Martin. Yeah, he was mentioned earlier. I think it was Canton that mentioned Elijah Martin. I think. Elijah Martin. He's a hefty athlete. What 6'2"? A little undersized, but Buddy is an athlete, bro. Uh, yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not really a great handler. I would say he's a streaky from beyond the arc. I would say that too. He plays bigger than his size. He does play bigger than his size, but he's a freaky athlete though, and he plays hard. Like he's one of them dudes. Like he's one of them dudes. Like he's positionless in a way. Micah Peavy, I'm not super familiar with. I know he's a guard, but Kobe, I believe he's a good shooter. Maxine, I believe, put up good stats. Omari Williams played well for Kentucky. Kentucky did pretty well. Javon Small, I feel like Javon Small is a typical West Virginia point guard. Um, Deuce McBride, like those kind of guys. He has a little more wiggle than Deuce McBride. Um, like he can play a little bit more laterally. But Deuce is, he's been pretty consistent as a shooter. Tyrese Proctor, great second half of the year. Yeah, I mean, I did hear that he could have went first round. John Tanje, yeah, I think he's a solid player. Solid, like, Wisconsin kind of player. Shoga, heard positive things about him. Now we'll jump into the first round. What y'all talking about? Appreciate that. I think Ace Bailey could have gone top 3 in the first round. Yeah, I definitely think so. I think Ace Bailey could have went top 3. I think he just didn't want to. Hey, good night. Good night, Anthony. Have a great turn. Have a great tournament tomorrow. Trey Johnson. Yeah, Trey Johnson is tough. Spectacular shooter, man. I agree with that. Those are probably the 3 best, prospects in the draft. Trey Johnson could end up being a really good player though. Because he could really, really shoot. Like, he could score, but he could really, really shoot. Like, he could really shoot. I think if Bailey went to the Sixers workout, I think he would have went 3. And, like, he's a big, and Ace Bailey's a big, I feel like he's a big Paul George fan. Man, that might be a good question. I feel like they're both athletic. I don't know if I've seen enough of Thero's dunks. Just because I've probably seen more of VJ Edgecombe's dunks, I'll give him the edge. But I feel like Thero's, I think he's tough. I think he's like, yeah, I feel like he could have went first round. I don't know why he didn't go first round. Let me see what they're saying, why he didn't go first round, or why they think he didn't go first round. Oh, his knee injury. Okay. Number 1, Cooper Flagg. I mean, Cooper Flagg, is he's got a lot on his shoulders. He's expected to carry the NBA. He's expected to basically be the next LeBron James, or, the next generational guy. Pretty cool for a guy from Maine, not really known for their basketball, to make it to the league. He can't really shoot. Yeah, I see what you're saying. He can't really shoot yet. Yeah. I mean, and being a junior, it's kind of tough because I feel like they want you to be a little more polished by the time you're a junior. If he was a freshman and he was doing this, I think he probably could have went lottery. Jazz did the best in this draft. Yo, the Jazz did a really good job. They picked up Ace. They picked up, who was it? Walter Clayton too, I think, right? Or am I wrong on that one? Yeah, Walter Clayton as well. Walter Clayton looks like he's ready to really go off. You know what I mean? Like, Walter Clayton and Jeremiah Fears. Yeah, Jeremiah Fears, like, those 2 dudes don't look like they're the type of dudes that don't seem like they're happy to be there. You know what I mean? Yeah, Walter Clayton, like he surprised me with how high he went though. Like I wasn't expecting him to go that high. Um like he's gifted, but I wasn't expecting him to go that high. Um just cuz he doesn't like, he's not like usually guards that are going to go super high are either bigger or like they're the like Ja Morant, Derrick Rose, freaky type athletes, you know? You think he's kind of like a Jalen Brunson type? You think he's like a smart player, strong? Do you think Dylan Harper is a Jalen Brunson type? A lot of people are comparing Dylan Harper to Jalen Brunson. So let me pull up what NBA Draft.net is talking about. Let me get your thoughts on these. I think it would be interesting to look at the 2025 draft. I mean 26 with AJ Debasa and uh I'm gonna uh so do you like this Scottie Pippen Jason Tatum comparison for Cooper Flag? Oh shoot. My bad. I lost the chat for a second. Okay. Conca Nipple is Grayson Allen with less bounce. If Dylan Harper has another weapon beside him, he'll be a Jalen Brunson type of player. Conca Nipple is Grayson. You think so? I mean, to me, Conca Nipple is like he's a little unique because I feel like he's a he's a really first of all he's a really good shooter. You know what I mean? I would say after like him and Trey Johnson are the two best shooters in this draft. I think Grayson Allen shot the ball really well last year though, but I think he's a playmaker though. I feel like he's a playmaker, but that's I don't know. It's an interesting comparison. It's an interesting comparison. But you think he went too high though? You think he went too high at number 4? All right, so you think Cooper Flag is like a Scottie Pippen type player? All right. So I feel like Dylan Harper has been compared to Jalen Brunson, right? Cade Cunningham, Jalen Brunson. Do you see the Cade Cunningham comparison? You like that one? Nah. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't see the Cade Cunningham. For me, what do y'all think about Dylan Harper and Dylan Harper and James Harden. You don't like the Brunson one. I feel like a lot of people say Brunson because he's like strong and because he's lefty. But why don't you like the James Harden on the Rockets? Yeah. I mean, he's definitely bigger. He's definitely significantly bigger than Jalen Brunson. He's definitely bigger than Jalen Brunson. I think he's really good as a decision maker. I think his decision making could shine. I feel like his decision making could shine if you put him around like players who could like finish. You know what I mean? Like I feel like in high school and in college, I don't know if he had the kind of teammates. Maybe at the AU level a little bit more, but I'm not sure if he had the kind of teammates that could really um yeah, you know, I would like to see him with a little more finishers. Yeah, you think so? But do you think do you think Harper and Stephon Castle could work well together? Because like you have Fox, Harper, and Stephon Castle. Are you going to start all three of those guys? And I feel like Stephon Castle is probably going to have the ball in his hands because he's the least. Like I don't know if any of those dudes are really shooters, but out of those three, I think Castle is the least shooter. You know what I mean? Like you have three guards. Okay, so you put Fox at the point, shooting guard at Harper at the two, and then you have Stephon Castle at the three. Really? Wow, that's interesting. So VJ Edgecombe, a lot of people say he's like a Oladipo, Victor Oladipo, like a Dwayne Wade type, maybe Donovan Mitchell a little bit. They're saying Russell Westbrook here. You like the Russell Westbrook comparison? Yeah, like I'm still not sure what they're supposed to do with that lineup. I imagine you bring Harper off the bench. Yeah, you think okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think that Victor comparison is kind of decent. Yeah, I feel like OKC Westbrook. Yeah, I mean, because Westbrook and OKC, like I still think for what Westbrook turned into, he became more of a point guard. And I don't know if VJ Edgecombe will ever be a point guard, but we'll see. They're saying he is Chris Mullin slash Jared Dudley. Um, well, if he's Chris Mullin, then that's great. If he's Jared Dudley, then I could see why people will say maybe that's a little too high of a draft pick. All right, they had Jeremiah Fears at 6'4". He really only measured at 6'2", though. They're saying Doc Rivers, Brandon Knight. These guys are probably a little before your time. But I would say like Dennis Schroeder is probably not a terrible comparison. Maybe shoots the ball. Like he's not a 3-point shooter yet, though. All right, I'm gonna go back to the ESPN. Yegor Demon. I feel like as Chris Middleton, that's not a bad comparison though. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like Jared Dudley at number, like I could see what you're saying. That seems kind of high. It seems kind of high, but I'm not mad at the Chris Middleton though. I'm not mad at that Chris Middleton. I actually like that. You know what I mean? I think Chris Middleton did a lot for the Bucks and Giannis because I feel like Chris Middleton was a really good like pick and roll playmaker, especially in the fourth quarter. With because Giannis is not really, he was never really that guy. Hey man, have a great game tomorrow. Get some rest. Yeah, no doubt. Yegor Demon, really good playmaker. Murray Boyles, defender. Malawach, he's another defender too. And Phoenix got him and Mark Williams, and I feel like they're similar players. So, not exactly sure. Coward, I think he's supposed to be a good shooter. The Senge. Derek Queen. Derek Queen, man. He's supposed to be a rim protector, right? Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if the shooting can improve. Derek Queen, man. They have him at a center, but he's still kind of small for a center. 6'9" center is a little small. Um, Especially if you're a 6'9" center. Like I think it's different if you're like Okongwu, for Atlanta because Okongwu's like really good as a defender. He's a really good defender, like pick and roll defender. I feel like he could slide it like as a Kendrick Perkins would say, he could slide them puppies. You know what I'm saying? Like Okongwu he could move around the perimeter. He can move around the perimeter really well and defend positions, kind of like what Anthony Davis can do. But Anthony Davis is obviously a really good offensive player. But Derek Queen balled out this year. It's interesting, like how many of Cooper Flagg's teammates got drafted from either high school or college. Sion James, Tyrese Proctor, Konka Nipple, and Malawach all got drafted. The whole entire Duke starting lineup got drafted. So 4 of his college teammates got drafted. And then if you look at his high school teammates, one right here in Derek Queen, Liam McNeely from UConn, and Asa Newell from Georgia all got drafted. And all those guys were drafted in the first round. So, and you saw when he dapped up all his boys from from high school. That was pretty sick. Carter Bryant, I believe he's known for his potential. Thomas Sorber, Thomas Sorber. I mean, he had a really good year at Georgetown. You know, like similar to Derek Queen, they're not like super explosive, athletic dudes. But yeah, right. He lacks explosiveness. But those dudes balled out this year, though. Jan Hansen, I'm still surprised. Questionable. Oh, well, I don't know. Yeah, because he's like a little old school. He's not really like a shooter. Well, if he could protect the rim defensively. But he can pass. I'll give him that. He definitely can pass, and he's strong. Walter Clayton Jr. Yeah, I mean, they were saying he's probably going to have to do a little bit more defensively. Traore, I feel like he's a solid, like, playmaking point guard. Yeah. Traore. They got 2 point guards, kind of different point guards. Kasparis Yakichonis, he kind of went lower than people probably expected. He's a really good playmaker. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, he was rated top 10. Yeah, I thought he would probably go higher than he went number 20. People were saying he could go top 5 at one point. Yeah, it's arguably a travesty. Yeah, he probably wants to be a little more consistent as a shooter, but listen, if anybody could develop this kid, Miami definitely could be. Oh, he drafted right before his teammate Will Riley. Will Riley had a lot of buzz coming into the season. Um, Good athlete, has potential as a shooter, definitely has playmaking potential, playmaking ability. Yeah, right. Potential as a shooter. I think Trey Johnson's probably gonna come in gunning. Drake Powell, the defensive player, Asa Newell. Probably, he could shoot a little bit. Good athlete. Yeah, he has like a lot of potential. Just seeing how he kind of rounds out his game. Nick Crawford, he's a little bit older, but he's a guy whose stock really rose. Yeah, he did well in like the tournament. Jace Richardson. Interesting one here. Obviously, his father is Jason Richardson. He is a little. He's small. But he's athletic though. Yeah, I mean this maybe Cole Anthony being traded could help him out. Um, I believe they still have Anthony Black though. Ben Saraf. Not too familiar with him, but maybe he could be like a Denny Advia. Was he 6'6"? Yeah. Danny Wolf. Good story with his family, like happy for him. Yannick, I feel like he's a rim protector. Liam McNeely probably went lower than people probably thought, but his shooting numbers weren't that good. Well, I guess he didn't shoot the ball as well as people wanted. But I think he's a better shooter than those numbers. Yeah, I feel like people weren't expecting him to drop that low. I mean, McNeely's a good player. The fact that he dropped that low is kind of crazy. But I don't know. I guess that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Um, yeah, that's really it as far as my draft analysis. Um, I'll try to be back another day. We could all chop it up. Wishing everybody well. God bless in Jesus' name. Amen. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody jumping on. Maybe because I'm being more consistent. Maybe